Of icons in this room, Ann Calvello, roller derby legend for 7 decades, and many others, and a lot of people are going to be here. We're expecting Philippe Alou, brand new super former Giants, new Giants manager. It doesn't get bigger than that. Mayor Willie Brown, as you know, and he's just finishing up a speech at Herb's Theater, which is why this has been going on long. So, but Roddy Piper, there wouldn't have been a rock and wrestling connection without Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was on the very first 2, and so I haven't read the book, so if I'm overlapping the book, he was on the very first 2 wrestling pay-per-views. The first was Starrcade. Was that 83? 83, Greg Valentine and the big huge match, and then of course
dog collar match.
Yep, the huge one, Wrestlemania 1, Madison Square Garden, March of '85, the tag match, the whole Cyndi Lauper, Lou Albano, the cartoon show, the MTV, and all of that. He's done so much, it's amazing. His first WWF appearance was in '78, and he went out there, and a funny story is Mike LaBelle, the promoter, because where he started was in Winnipeg for Al Tomko, who stiffed him on his first payday. And as Pepper knows, it's not unusual, particularly if you're green and starting out. What was unusual...
It's gonna be good. Here come the Bagpipe. There he is, right there.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. Where are you going? Where are you going, man? Please give a hand for these guys. God bless them. You know, they're fantastic. You want to play a tune? Have you got a real easy set of pipes there? Is one of your pipes an easier set to blow? Are they all pretty hardcore? Pretty hardcore, huh? Yes. I came 5th in the world when I was 14 playing those things. Yeah, that's truth. I was living on an Indian reservation called Papaw, Manitoba, way up in the Northwest Territories. And I don't know why I learned the bagpipes. I'll tell you, you guys don't understand this. I can't imagine in the Indian reservation, like the Cherokee playing the bagpipes, dancing around a fire. I don't know where I got the idea for the darn thing. And I was young, I was like 5, and then when I was 14, I played with a pipe band called Quebec, City of Toronto. And it was the first time all the bands came from the old country, and they had it in the CNE Gardens in Toronto, and we came 5th in the world. Of course, Shotzdaghead and whoever it was, all the old bands beat us. But you know, doggone, we were 5th. God bless you. Thanks for coming down, man. You guys are great. I really want it. Really great. God bless you. Here's the guy right here. Here's the guy right here.
The first opponent you ever had in San Francisco at the Cow Palace, Pepper Gomez. Pepper Gomez, come on up.
I was so scared of him, man. When I Pepper, you want to sit down, don't you?
Yeah, well,
I was so scared of you. It's true. I remember, quit leaving this junk around here like that, man. I remember coming, it was, I think, in San Francisco television, first time I ever wrestled. And, you know, this gentleman here, you know, he packed a punch. And I was young, and I had said a whole bunch of bad things about you, none of which I meant, sir. No rematch. What is Rocky? I don't want one, you know. And I just got so much respect for you, and this is part of the reason that this book was written. It was inspired by gentlemen like this right here that I followed. I was like a, I get going here. I was kind of like the Opie of professional wrestling, man. I was a professional wrestler when I was 15 years old, full time, and I got taught by people like this gentleman how to take care of yourself mentally and physically, because professional wrestling is a sport that it's a lot more to meets the eye. I think you folks are starting to see that. As they used to just call us a bunch of phonies, but we have the highest suicide rate of any sport in the world. All my frat brothers are dead. Of course, I'm not going to leave you on that note. So, yeah, I'll go home and, what is it, Jones? What's that guy, Jones? On the back of the shirt, I just made this shirt up. You know, it's a frat shirt. On the back of it, I got to kind of remember him. Art Barr is a kid that I brought in that died with his son in his hand. Rick Rude is, I'm sorry he's dead, but I'm glad I ain't fighting him no more, you know. He was a great friend. Brian Pillman, Owen Hart, Andre the Giant. Owen Hart was my cousin. Andre the Giant, I fought him over 200 times. I know there's a God. You see Andre the Giant, 550 pounds, that's 225 a bun coming down on you. You know there's a God. I have seen him. Jeez. And Junkyard Dog, Bruiser Brody on here. These are people who've been murdered or in different ways in our business, and it's coming to light now through this book. You know, man. You know, my life, nothing has ever been premeditated in my life, not even my birth. And what happened was I was just 15 years old, in a whole lot of trouble with the police. And I was an amateur wrestler, 167 wrestling pounds. And you mind if I sit down, man? I've had over 7,000. My back's killing me. God bless you, man. So I sure am happy here, and I'll get to it. I was 167 amateur wrestling champion and Golden Gloves champion when I was 15, and I was living in a youth hostel. Some guy just said, "You want to make 25 bucks?" And I says, "Sure, I don't know what I got to do." And he says, "Just got to wrestle this guy." And I had never seen a professional wrestling match before. And, you know, I was a tough guy. I was tough, and I knew I was tough because I said it. And so bottom line, just make it real easy, you know, I said to my pipe band, I said, you know, they want me to professional wrestle. And I didn't really know what it was. Some of the places I lived didn't have TV. And they told me it was so, man. I said, we said, we'll play you in. All right, I got a pipe band playing me in. I'm 167 pounds. That's pretty big, including pimples. Yeah, I can do that. So my pipe band comes, and I went to this place called the Marlboro Hotel. It was a hotel. It's not there anymore, so I can tell I stole a basket from it. And I wanted to put roses in the basket, but I didn't have no money, so I put dandelions in the basket. And so all of a sudden, in the Winnipeg Arena, Winnipeg, Canada, you know, back then you could have heard a pin drop, man. And this whole pipe band starts playing me out. Oh, man. And, you know, Pedro they're playing me out, and I'm throwing these dandelions. And people think I'm throwing flowers until they're getting hit with it, you know. And I wasn't necessarily trying to make them mad. I was just trying to make an entrance. And my pipe band said, but the guy in the ring didn't find it quite as funny as I did. His name was Larry Henning. He was 320 pounds of Viking, no neck, and there was, you know, fire coming out of every hair in his nose. And he's looking at this skinny, pimply 15-year-old kid coming up with a whole pipe band, and he's standing in the ring like this. He's just seething, and, you know, it was my first world's record. It takes 3 count to win a match. So that means I lasted 7 seconds. Yeah, I got my nose busted over here, and the guy, and Larry Henning, one time, when the first time he hit me, I went out through the ropes, and I'm sure the kindness of his heart, he just grabbed me by the hair so I wouldn't hit my head against the concrete and ranked me up and bopped me again, and I was down, and my pipe band went out the door, and I'm sitting down, and my nose was broken. You know, remember Larry? Doggone it, man. You know, moose of a man, and promoter come up to me, and all I remember is a penny loafers there coming up, and he says, "Kid, you did great. How'd you like to go to Kansas City?" You know, Larry Henning gonna be there. No, we won't overmatch you, you know. And you know, they put me in a car, and they smuggled me into America. They told me I was his son, and I went in tough man contests and stuff, all kinds of stuff in wrestling, and through this area here is the first break that I ever got. Los Angeles and San Francisco, Roy Shires, God bless his soul. And I have a special place in my heart for this part of the country. If it wasn't for you folks in wrestling, you know, I'd be dead for sure. I would have been dead first before I got in it if I hadn't found it. And then when I got all sick, there's a chapter in this book called The Sickness. You read it. If it hadn't been for my wife, 23 years now, my 4 kids, they saved me the second time. And the idea this time now is maybe we can save some of these guys. You know, Pepper, why they're all dying, Pepper. They're all dying before they're 40, 35. I mean, there's some great stories. I'll tell you a story, man. Let's get out of this God thing. Get this thing away from me, man. One time, you remember that dog, British Bulldog, Matilda? This is just wrestler's humor. I don't know if you like it or not, man. So that British Bulldog, there was a tag team called the British Bulldogs, and they had a bulldog called Matilda, right? So there was Jimmy Hart, malted south, and he had this horn, you know, he's always talking all the time. I really hated it. And so Matilda, poor Matilda, at that time, there's a lot of steroids going around. I'm not sure, but, you know, I think everybody, every second day, would kind of pum, you know, and Matilda was kind of getting big, and her belly was dragging on the ground there. And wrestlers eat, you know, pizza, turkey, you know, they throw it to the peasants, and that was Matilda. Another one, you know, just growing, and her belly was dragging on the ground. Don Morocco, he comes, he says, "Pipes, Pipes, Pipes, come here, come here." Every time they wanted some, like, you know, little Mikey or something, you know, Pipes will do it, you know, so go corner the dog. Okay. Why? You know, because I want you to climb. And so he grabs Jimmy Hart's megaphone, and he comes up to Matilda, and he just puts a feedback on it, and he just goes, like that. And this poor dog, like 15 seconds a day. Now, what I don't know that he knows is Jimmy Hart is about to embark on a wrestling program against the British Bulldogs with Matilda and the Bullhorns. So Morocco had this done for 15 seconds every night, every night. Now, you know there's something going on in a wrestling match when the wrestlers come to the curtain and they're all looking out. You know, that's your high sign. Something's going to happen. Well, sure as heck, man, that Matilda's in there. Shotgun, man. That Jimmy Hart come in there, and he had no idea, man. And he comes in there, he's such a nice, soft man. And that dog, all of a sudden, he's looking, he point that bullhorn, and that dog, and he starts chasing him, but because of the friction on the belly on the mat, Jimmy had enough time to run, and he was up on the turnbuckle on the top of the third turnbuckle. He's going, "I like you, little doggy. I like you, little doggy." For 3 months, that dog tried to kill Jimmy. It was the greatest entertainment for us, you know. It was just wrestling entertainment, man. Well, I'll tell you, she was a great dog. She's still with us, you know. The dog made it. All the rest of the boys are dead, though. You know, that's my life. My life. Yeah, the dog made it. The wrestlers are dead. My wife went down with my kids, and they got one of the Great Danes. They went down. They felt sorry because there was one there that was deaf. They brought it home, too. I got 2 Great Danes. I made it my therapist. When it's eyes closed, "You stupid dog!" When it's looking at me, I smiled. And saves me $100 a week, you know. So the last time I was in San Francisco, you put me in Alcatraz. And I had to spend the night in Alcatraz, and I was blowing my harmonica, and as the guards were leaving, they whipped around real close, fast. I guess they said that they heard harmonicas and stuff. And I fought Hogan, I think, in Cow Palace. I just had so many wonderful things. So many wonderful things happened to a kid with a grade 8 education. And, you know, I was bound to fail. I had no clue. It's just been you folks. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You gave me my wife and my kids and everything that I like the Waltons. Like, who wants a drumstick? That's all I ever wanted in life. And you guys are giving it to me, man. And unless you got some questions, you know, I'm just so happy you turned out. And, you know, next time I'll see you in heaven. Yeah, I want to just go home with my kids. And but I got two good things. One, we've got a hospital now. We got a hospital now for the boys to go to. No money. A guy named Father Jason Sanderson. He was the biggest lottery winner in America, $66 million in Vermont. He's the nicest man. He's donated 44 acres of land in Vermont. We're building a center on it. It's called Day Springs Healing Center. The wrestlers now, they don't have to get sick and shoot themselves and all the rest of the stuff. They can go to this free charge, Pepper, anytime, no matter how old, how young, no matter what, something for your spirit, healing your head, healing your body, and these guys can be taken care of. So if nothing else, you know, you people have done even far beyond your duty. You've now helped us with the use of with this book and getting a hospital for some great men, and I'm real proud of that. And then if you know, wrestling's dead in my mind, you know. I don't know what the WWE is. That, you know, I could do a half-hour monologue for you on it. It's not a problem, but I don't think you want to hear it. All right. Well, I saw Vince McMahon the other day, and we got kids here. He kind of contradicts my platform. You know, I'm trying to form the Christian Wrestling Association or something here. What they're doing is, it kind of gets me hot. There's only about 4 people responsible for Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania wasn't a predetermined event. I'll quickly tell you what happened. It was an eagle. It was literally the North against the South. In 1982, Barnett out of Atlanta asked me to come and take over the world with Ole Anderson. And that crumbled because of a guy in Chicago. So the old man, Vince Sr., heard about this, and he decided that he was going to take over the world because there was definite lines we had that you didn't cross. And, you know, like things written down, everything I was taught is in my head. I never written anything down. So what happened was, in New York, Larry Zbyszko against Bruno Sammartino, they went out in Shea Stadium, did $550,000. Wow, that got the South mad, and that was Jimmy Crockett. So Jimmy Crockett got with Dusty Rhodes, and the first pay-per-view event, and I was in a dog collar match against Greg Valentine, and I think Flair for the goal with Race. And that was their answer to McMahon's $550,000 house there. So they started the first pay-per-view. Then the old man called, and I remember I was doing interviews, and Jimmy Crockett called me, and he says, Vince McMahon Sr. called you, you know. I did the honorable thing, I quit and left. You know, I'm a wrestler, man, you know, I'm a hired gun, and I got up there, and there was all these rebels, man. There was like, remember Schultz, the guy that slapped Stossel, you know? I was like 10 feet away, and like Stossel being such a jerk, man. He's sitting down there, and one of the guys were trying to get Schultz, since he's wrestling phone, he's wrestling not like it. Boy, that's a question of the year, you know. So that's so funny. John says, let me take care of it. He gets right up in Schultz's face and says, wrestling's phony, that's not. Bang, bang. Mom. Now, so they were there, and we'd have 2-minute and 54-second interviews. And they'd have like Orndorff, Schultz, myself, Morocco in one interview. And it was nuts. And everybody was trying to clamor for them. So the answer to Starrcade in Greensboro, North Carolina, was Cyndi Lauper came into Piper's Pit. And I actually had, Cyndi Lauper came, brought that industry in, and so they said, okay, we're going to do something with MTV that even going to top you. Cyndi Lauper come in, and this is exactly what happened. Cyndi Lauper comes in, I'm like 31 years old, 32, I got testosterone coming every pore in my body, and Cyndi Lauper's manager, Dave Wolf, comes up to me and he says, it's unbelievable, man. He said, she was a female vocalist of the year. He says, can you kick Cyndi in the head and not hurt her? Huh? You what? Huh? You're a what? Manager? You're a hell of a manager. You know? You know, pile drive the lady? I says, sir, I'm not interested in hurting anybody. He says, no, because in our business, as this gentleman here knows for sure, our word is our bond. And this is a man that I learned that from. When we give our word, it's our bond. So he's looking for my word. I says, I don't want to hurt no lady. No, but, okay, that was it. 2 weeks later, it's War to Sell Scores in Madison Square Garden. So there's from Andy Warhol, literally. I walked in, I didn't know who Andy Warhol was, and they said, this guy wants to see you. And I'm talking to this kind of skinny guy, and some guy's taking pictures of my feet. You know, I said, this is nuts. I walk out, there's Liberace with the Rockettes. What a contradiction. I got Little Richard handing out Bibles. I'm not kidding you, it was nuts. And so 20 minutes, I'm wrestling, I'm warming up, I'm getting ready to go, and boom, here we go. And a guy with authority comes up to me very quietly, looks me in the eye, and he says, the end of her career could be the beginning of yours. Huh? Wasn't morals? Wasn't morals or what? So all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm in the ring. And, okay, how does this happen now? About 12, 15 minute mark, I was hitting Hogan, something like that. And, you know, DNA couldn't find a hair follicle up there now. I've been through with him, man. I was pulling hair, and Mr. T, I don't think much of him. I come up, I just popped him, and all of a sudden, a big arm come around me, man. And I've been stabbed, I don't know, 2, 3 times for that time. And so I just hip tossed it, and it was a cop that got carried away, a New York policeman. I saw a badge. And I look, and all of a sudden, his buddies didn't see the humor in it, you know, and they were coming at the same time. Here comes Cyndi Lauper onto the thing, and I'm going boom, boom, boom. Okay, what was that again? Beginning of what should be when the cows come where? And you can watch the film, and I was punting, and it came to me. I don't know, man. I've been a Christian all my life, you know. I just couldn't do it. I pulled it at the end as hard as I could. I still tapped her a bit, but because I did that, it got on Time Magazine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how Wrestlemania came about. It was not a predetermined, we're going to do this, this, and this. It was a bunch of ego accidents. And then promoters got a hold of it, and now it's the WWE. 2 guys getting married. Some guy pulls his pants down. Patterson pulls his pants down. They're soiled. I don't know their underwear is soiled. I don't know whose underwear he's wearing, but you know they are soiled, Pat. And Vince McMahon's just got the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, and I saw him on TV, and he's wiggling his buns. He says, "Look, my ass does tricks." I says, "Hell, I've known that for 30 years, man." Sheesh. You know, it's got that varicose vein in his nose starts thumping when I call. And, oh, you know, hold on. Yeah, my foot, hot rod. So he's got some, you know, 320-pound. Says, I can see him coming up to me saying, listen, this is what they do to your kids, too. He says, I see, McMahon, you've never done this, but, hey, hot rod, this is what we'd like you to do. We'd like you to lay down, and this 320-pound Samoan guy with a thong, yeah, he's going to sit on your face. Right, you got that, you betcha. I'll be right there. I'll put my fist up like this. I'll have a fudgicle for 3 weeks on this arm. So, you know, but they get these kids to do that. And I'm going, whoa, if it was my boy, I'd take a street sweeper to you, buddy, let alone doing it to your daughter, and then, you know, have my son slap my wife. Puh, golly gee, if my son doesn't say please and thank you, he's got a trouble. And the whole thing is Vince McMahon Jr., The Sickness, Chapter 12, I was the epitome of the sickness, man. I was a sick son of the unnamed goat, and sorry, you know, kids, man. I got a lot of kids, I love them. So, Vince McMahon is now the height of his sickness. He's brought his family into it. It's his life and his success. He has gone broke in every business he's ever been in, except the one his daddy gave him. And I tell him all the time, your name is Junior, man. I'm a first generation. And his grandpa was a wrestling promoter. And he tried rock and roll and went bankrupt, and he got this wrestling, and then he tried the World Bodybuilding Federation that we paid for and went bankrupt. Then he tried the XFL and went bankrupt, you know, and I was even screwing up some of the works. Damn, man. So, I actually, I'm going to be on Howard Stern's show tomorrow. Howard has no idea what's coming. He just thinks he's good, man. But, you know, it's one thing just to be a disc jockey and sell people. It's another thing to come up to Andre the Giant and slap him in the face. You know, but that's okay. I've done that one. So, I'm trying to, I actually FedExed him a book, and I FedExed him the kindest letter I could give Vince McMahon Jr., saying that, please, and I'm going to bring it up in Howard Stern, please, please, man, any form you want, I don't care, you got to clean it up, because that ain't wrestling. And if you don't clean it up, Vince, I told him in the letter, I'm coming after you. At the end of the field debate, and just clean it up for us, so you guys can watch with your kids like we all did, wonderful. If not, I'm still going after you, so it don't matter to me. And I'll find some league that I can put my stamp on that you can be proud of. And the entertainment is within the wrestling, you know. The sex part is in bed at home. Thank you very much for coming. God bless you. I love you. I'll answer any questions you got, but I just can't thank you enough. Patty Vansky is here. She's very, I love you, Patty. So much, Bear, for standing behind me. And here's the Doc. God bless you. He arranged this whole thing. One great man, a great fan, and I'm a big fan of this. Thank you so much, and let's get signing some books here.
Mike, I need to put the mic back in. Sure. That's hot in here.
Hey, how are you?
Can you put the mic back in? No, I thought you said you unplugged them. No.
God bless you. Thank you so much for that. Really good idea.
Yeah, sure. All right. Oh, yeah.
I understand somebody tried to fight me. You just took them down. Oh, I got some hurt on you. It was just so wonderful. That's my kind of mirror, man.
But I realized what I had about that.
That's right. Golly gee. The mayor of San Francisco.
Let me you know, we were swapping stories there for a minute, because when I first heard of Roddy, it was back like in the middle 70s. And it was when wrestling was still big time out at the San Francisco Cow Palace. And he was one of the favorites, one of the crowd pleasers. Went on to have a spectacular career in establishing wrestling as one of America's best watched activities. He has participated at Hogan Fellow in some memorable challenges and championships. And of course, instead of running for the governor, as one of his counterparts did of Minnesota, I think he could have won this year in California if he had been a candidate. He instead elected to continue his public life by becoming a part of the world of television and movie making. And then his athletic ability, his skills almost immediately identified him as an action figure in the world of acting. And his credits are extensive. He's currently working in at least 2 movies involving the business of doing his trade. He had time, obviously, to write a book. And each one of you are here tonight to chat with him briefly and hopefully get his signature on the book. When I heard that he was coming to San Francisco, I thought it appropriate to designate this as his day. I don't think that's been done in San Francisco on his behalf. I would not want him to come, sign all these books, and see so many of his admirers and fans without having the opportunity to have the city acknowledge his presence, and to that end, Roddy, I have made this your day in San Francisco. Welcome to our city.
Is that cool or what, man?
Yeah.
You guys just you got a good mayor, man. You got a real good mayor. I am so proud. You know, sir, Mr. Brown, I got a great education, and I now have a ranch on top of a mountain. My wife of 23 years and 4 children, and it's men like you that stand up and are not afraid. Now, I heard some guy pie-faced him, he took him down, man. I love him to death already, Willie. You know,
let me do one more thing about this guy. You know, he has been successful in his own right for more than 30 years now, and he is sharing his talent and his wealth with his fellow athletes, both boxers and wrestlers who've fallen on hard times. That ranch he's talking about, 80 acres of it, he is devoting with his own funds to the business of fixing a place for people who worked in his profession, didn't make it, can't afford it, and are now hit on hard times. And that's why San Francisco, and I suspect many of you, love it.
God bless you, man. I'm just so happy. You never thought this would ever happen to me. Mr. Brown, I thank you so much. And when you come up to the ranch, let's have some skim milk and sit down and talk.
We got it.
God bless you.
Can we get Pepper in the photo too? Pepper,
That'd be great.
Mayor, this is Pepper Gomez.
Hey, Pep, Willie Brown.
I was scared
All right.
to death of him. But as the first guy I wrestled in San Francisco, and he scared me to death.
Pepper nearly sold out the candlestick with Ray Stevens, if you remember, in '63. Pepper, look this way a little bit. There we go.
You're holding kind of tight.
Sorry, Pepper.
Let you go.
There we go, Pepper. You still got me, don't you, Doc?
It's the crowbar.
It's a crowbar. Thank you so much,
All right.
sir, for taking the time. I just can't
Get back to work.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. Is that too cool? Roddy Piper. What the heck are you doing, Roddy Piper? It scares me to death. That is really
Get that fan back on
God
the top.
bless you.
Good. All right, how are you? All right.
You'd be honored to autograph your book.
Yep, I'm waiting for it.
I would love to.
But I used to,
Huh?
and I like you as a speaker of the house.
Oh, you remember me, huh?
Oh, yeah. State employee, oh, yeah.
You know, it looks like yesterday, but it was 7 years ago. 1995. The last time I'm sure. Did that?
I remember my supervisor and I talking about you during May and June. May and June, the budget.
Right, those were the years.
Had to get it signed.
Willie, did you put a stop to that fight, those 2 gays at Les Central? You're a sportsman.
I'm not cutting the line, let's be clear. I'm not cutting the line.
You have to cut the check on your employees, not the line.
I'll write another book for you, Mayor.
No kidding.
I don't think she gives me enough credit. I took the only pictures when he came to the Christmas party. He was in it.
All right. Get back this way, say hello, will you? How about the City Hall? All right. All right.
Mayor of San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
Even when you sat in for him that one time.
Mayor,
He won't
thank
let
you
me
for
do that
coming.
again.
No.
He fears I'm gonna take his job.
Thank you so much for
All
coming.
right,
I really
all right,
appreciate
take
it.
it easy.
Thank you.
Toby.
His honor to mayor.
It's Roddy Piper. That was my brother.
He looks like this guy from Mom, I know. Like, it's, I mean, it's funny.
There's Mike right there. You got a Roddy Piper story?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'll get you up there.
Yeah, and this is. We've been watching you together for 14 years.
First, you have to tell the story about they're in the scene and there's a tag team.
They want me to write another book.
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm trying to get it right. Try not to offend anybody.
Is there any place to donate to the charity?
No, not right now. We've got the land, we've got everything. It's just a matter of organization and stuff. So
If there is, you know, we'd love to find out about it. I think it's great that you're acknowledging the cause and everything.
It's long past due. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Never meet? Yeah, from
Napty.
Napty Convention in Vegas.
Reality check. Reality check.
that's right.
How you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Welcome to San Francisco, man.
I got me a book. You talk about your feud with Ron Starr in there?
Oh, no.
That was San Francisco, man. You were fighting him for days for the United States title. I remember a mixed tag match. I think you teamed with Judy Martin and him against some Ron Starr and some blonde girl. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. It was a whole hour. Big Time Wrestling was the show.
Yeah, we went the whole hour.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember a single match 2 out of 3 where he won the
Sure
first fall, he
wasn't
won the
Miss
second.
Wrestling, Roy Shire's Miss Wrestling?
Well, that was on there as well. And we hope to get here because I guess you gotta get out of here at 10:30, huh?
I got to do Lord Stern in New York.
Hey, so Roddy, since today is Roddy Piper Day, what does that mean? Do you get to go shopping for free? What does that mean? Since today is Roddy.
That means if you just shake hands, a lot of love to each other, then be like the Irish, go kick up your heels, and there ain't no rules, man. Just don't hurt nobody, including yourself.
Thanks a lot.
God bless
Do
you.
a quick station name, just tell the people they're watching reality.
Okay, who am I watching?
Yeah, just I'm Roddy Piper. This is reality.
My name's Roddy Piper, and I'm watching Reality Check. You know why? I made it up. These guys continued it. God bless you. Yeah,
Pleasure, man.
bless your heart. Hello, sir.
Oh, it's the Piper. Hell comes to Frogtown. That's what
That
I'm
one.
saying.
Did they ever make a sequel to that?
Not that I was in. No, I just, got my marriage to that one.
Can I get a picture with you?
Sure you can.
It's always the best. Thank you, man. Oh, you too. All right. Thanks for having me a chance to meet you. Okay. From the Jack
It will be soon.
I just made one.
Yes, I thought you forgot before Bruce and Rowdy, and I saw his made the trip.
Still waiting on our water. Yes, for war. They want pictures of
The Dutchman tells us pretty thing on Bruce.
Did he?
Yeah. True story, Bruce and Rowdy.
Frank Goodrich, he was a good friend of mine. I've been in that baseball stadium many a time. He didn't die from a stab when he glad to die.
So let's see it, Mike. Let's see the scene.
I really did watch wrestling, man.
To Mike and the Jack Saints.
Especially when you
You met the Rowdy one.
tried to hit that coconut.
I'm going to watch the Sand.
Right on.
Legendary Pepper Gomez. Hey, Pepper, you want to sign this book too for me? Since I know you're mentioned in it. See, we're filming it from a show. See, this is the legendary Pepper Gomez, one of the first real superstars in the Bay Area. Used to sell out the Cow Palace. I mean, who are some of your toughest opponents, Pepper?
Ray Stevens, guys like Lou Says, Killer Kowalski, Colleen Jonathan, Hunt Schmidt, Vern Gagne, and those are the toughest one was Ray Stevens.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do, and he did them anyway, whether he got disqualified. He didn't kill.
Did you ever wrestle like somebody like Red Bastien? Or was he your tag team partner?
Yeah, I wrestled. No, we wrestled against each other in a clean match.
A clean match.
Yeah.
And Nick Bockwinkel?
Yeah, Nick Bockwinkel, I wrestled him. And I wrestled him before he went to Minnesota.
AWA.
Yeah, then he turned the other way. Yeah, he was a good wrestler.
You know, you were like one of the first, probably one of the first small guys in the sport, but you had a lot of strength. Like, how much could you bench press at what you weighed like?
The best at 198, I bench pressed 445.
Wow.
And I squatted with over 600 pounds.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so when I wrestled at Boston Garden, I weighed around 227, but that was big for me. And I wrestled guys like Kowalski, Leo Jonathan, Hans Schmidt, and all these big guys, Hardball, Hager, all of them. I wrestled all of them, and I beat them all. And they didn't think of anything at first, but when they watched me in the ring and the way I was moving, they couldn't catch me. And when I got behind the boom, I took them down and wore them out. And you know how a cat plays with a mouse? And that's what I did to them. And they got up, boom, and I drop kicked them again, and then I picked them up. And I used to spin the shit out.
Hey, like, what were some of the titles you held? Okay, cool.
Well, I was Texas heavyweight champion, Pacific Coast heavyweight champion, Southwest heavyweight champion, Eastern States heavyweight champion, world heavyweight champion, and United States champion.
Wow. You were all world champion too.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm tired.
Yeah, that was just a name I could never forget. Pepper Gomez, such a memorable name.
Thank you.
Just. Very wrestling original, Pepper Gomez.
So Ann Calvello was supposed to show up?
Thank you, man. Yeah. It's an honor to meet you. Yeah, we met earlier.
You had to go to the doctor.
Nice to meet you again.
Let me see Pepper Gomez sings.
Here it is, signed by Piper and Pepper Gomez.
It's pretty good.
This is for me, not for you viewers.
Don't even wrestle a bear, you know, that ain't nothing.
You heard this stuff. They do it this way. He sort of pull the covers over both of them, and then she'd have to jump out because it was so obnoxious. So it might be retribution for they kind of put it in there for free. You know what, Gail? Who was a lady wrestler, married the rich guy.
Saw him a few months ago when he was in town.